نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. On social media in a very important topic about leadership. In fact, Muslims leadership, Muslim leadership doesn't matter in America, in England, in Arab countries, doesn't matter. And our leadership, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the companion of Rasulullah, Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum. And in fact, Allah said that in Surah Al-Isra, Surah Al-Sajdah, every Friday Fajr time, we are saying, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ. Allah here, we created among the Muslims أئمة, leaders, يهدون بأمرنا, in the guiding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And hadith of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, so كلكم راع وكل مسؤول عن رعيته. Everybody is responsible, in charge, and everyone charged with his own household.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Of course, when I started with our brother Mohammed with some advices and some ideas for our kids, our nation, to be leaders, doesn't matter where.
Doesn't matter where. You don't need to be in a Muslim country to be a leader.
But number one, what is leader here?
What is the definition? Like, what does that mean?
Definition of leadership.
And I think we in the West kind of, take that definition and we found a different meaning to leadership, right? We don't think what the real word of leadership is, not knowing when not to do something, knowing when to speak up, knowing how to speak, right? Intelligently speaking with a good tone, good mannerisms. And I'm not talking about just leaders with the men. I'm talking about women leaders as well.
Of course.
Right. We always think that word leadership means a man. A man needs to be a leader. No, the woman is also out and about doing things out in the community, talking to different people. So showing that skill set of leadership, right? When somebody's doing something wrong and, hey, listen, I'm a Muslim, we don't do these kinds of things, and pull yourself away from the haram stuff that we know as Muslims that we're not supposed to do, right? And I think right now what we have with our youth is that they're watching all this social media stuff, that they're really flipping the script on what a leadership, what a man is supposed to be, what a woman is supposed to be, what the leadership roles are. And I think our kids are kind of getting confused on what it's all about and how to be a leader. And one of the biggest things I've really told parents is that, when we talk about last week, we talked about, watching what your kids are watching, listening to what your kids are listening to, really talking to the kids about what they're seeing out there and what the true Islamic definition of leadership is all about. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you carry yourself. Right? How many times have you walked into the schools that we have, Islamic schools, and you see the way the kids just are slouching, are walking in a way of like a weakness, right? And I know like a while back we talked about how when I spoke to the criminals in the jails, how they pick and choose who they want to take advantage of, and they that's what they look for. They look for those weak, walking, shy, scared, nervous individuals. And as Muslims, that's not how we're supposed to walk, how we're supposed to act. Many times I've had people say, "Well, you walk with purpose. I don't mess with you because the way you walk, the aura that you bring out, the vibe that you bring out." And that's what we have to kind of instill in our children, right? But I think one of the things a lot of us parents, we forget that when our kids are watching these things on social media, we think, okay, well, they're listening to Islamic values or Islamic lessons or Islamic things, but who are they watching, right? Who are they watching? Because we talk about the fake Muslims that are out there that call themselves Muslims, and they're Muslim influencers, and they're teaching our kids these Islamic values that are not really true. Or they take the hadiths and they flip them around, and and so the kids are going back to their parents and they're saying, "Well, I heard a brother who said that I can do this and I can do that, and this is the way a Muslim is supposed to behave, and when I get married, I'm supposed to be like this with my wife, and I'm supposed to." And so parents are, what do we say? Well, you have to teach your kids. Show me that video that you just saw. Right? If I was a father that had a kid that said this, show me the video that you saw. Share that video with me. I want to watch this video. And then look up the hadith. It's easy. Google. Google the hadith and then read to your child what the hadith really means, right? The definition,
Yes.
or if you don't, just go to your local masjid. You should be able to go to your local masjid and say, "Can you please explain to my child what this hadith is all about?"
Something very important, brother, very, very important. If you have a hadith, you cannot make fatwa of the hadith. Number one. Number two, every hadith, there is fiqh of the hadith. Understand the hadith, why Rasulullah did said, what is the reason, where he did that. Just the Quran, the reason of revelation with my lecture Saturday is very important. Plus, Umar ibn Khattab, he saw one of these guys, a Sahaba companion, when he wrote like some people, I don't want to mention name.
Yeah.
When he says "Assalamu alaikum,"
the weak.
like this.
Yeah.
And what Umar did with this, had a stick, and he hit him with the stick. The next time, usluk.
Yeah.
It should be a man.
Yeah.
And from all the companion, Umar ibn Khattab, he hit him from his family. Why? Because we should not be like this.
No.
And Allah said, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً. We are a strong nation.
Yeah.
Allah said that. The key is a very important topic. A lot of kids following those people.
Yeah. They follow those people.
Superman, Batman, Flash, and many.
Yeah.
I know that Aquaman.
Well, you're talking superheroes, and I'm talking these Muslim influencers. These guys who are on TV or on YouTube, and
that's scary.
And years ago when they first started this whole thing, I was interested. I said, okay, this is good. These are cool brothers. They're going out. They're doing da'wah. They're making changes. Inshallah, they're bringing people closer to Islam. But then it became like celebrities.
Something very important. You mentioned something about wudu.
Oh yeah, when we're talking about these
very
videos,
important. Yeah.
I mean, there's videos that go around, and this is what
give me attention. Read this. Sorry, he just told me this. I was shocked.
Yeah, this is something that caught my eyes when there's a video that was going around where a Muslim brother was making wudu in a sink, and the clip goes on to the other Muslim brother making wudu in the dirt, and they went to go pray together, and the Muslim brother who made the wudu with water tells the other Muslim, "Hey, you have to go make wudu," and he says, "No, there's hadith that says I can use dirt to make wudu." But that's it. They don't explain the rest of the hadith. They just stop right this.
Yeah, because if there is water, there is no, you cannot do that. Unless or the water, for example, disease and something like this is a different story.
It's a different story.
Yeah, that's why it's really the fiqh. We take the fiqh from the fuqaha, for the ulama, the scholars. It's very important because this we just told Brother Mohammed or this. If maybe some other people they're following that with the dirt.
Yeah, and they when you read the comments, because I like to read the comments of what people are saying, and I knew that this was a hadith, and I'm glad because I don't like to make wudu in the masjid, so I'd rather go outside and just do it in the dirt real quick before Friday prayer.
Oh my God.
And you see these comments and you say, well, what are you teaching these brothers and sisters? You're gonna go to the masjid next week and you're gonna find a bunch of brothers in the dirt making wudu instead of going to the bathroom to make wudu.
I saw also a couple Muslims, supposed to be Muslims,
supposed to be
about Salah and completely fake.
Yeah.
And me, I have to be involved with that. I mean, very common. I say, if you pray the way you pray, you're kafir. You are not Muslim.
Absolutely.
Because it's different than what Allah orders us. Yeah, it's very important, brother. This topic is very important. We have to keep our kids to be a leader. Of course, understand the Islam.
Understand Islam. That's the biggest thing. I think that we send our kids to Islamic school. Khalas, my job is done. I'm paying the tuition. Let them teach my kids. No, Islam isn't just 7 hours, 6 hours, whatever time they're in school. It's a 24-hour, 7
By the way,
week.
the survey, the recent survey, 2025, actually, the Islamic school kids in Islamic school in the population for America, 2.4%. 2.4% Islamic schools have students. The majority of in America, we are nothing.
Yeah.
That's scary. More scary.
And you know what? It's scary because you said like this. It's as simple as a handshake, right? As a father, when you have a son and you teach your kid, when you shake a hand, you shake it with a grip. Not squeezing, but you shake it like a element. The small things that really add up to something really big. A strong handshake can really develop the confidence in that boy.
Yes.
Right. And so when we see our kid who my son shakes some another guy's hand, and I see him, with a little, hey, what did I teach you? How did I teach you to shake a man's hand? You're a man. You shake that hand with a grip. These little things that we think, it's just something small, it's not a big deal. He'll grow out of it. No, you have to force that kid to grow out of it. You don't wait the kid's 6 years old and wait till the kid turns 18 to teach him how to be a man. How does that work?
That's why leadership is number one.
Leadership is number
Our
one.
example always Prophet Muhammad and the Sahaba.
Yeah. There's lots of stories in the Quran. There's a lot of stories that in the books, and here's the thing: if our parents don't know, how are they supposed to act and teach?
That's another story.
But that's where you fix it, right? We always talk about fixing the world, and we want to fix the Muslim Ummah needs to come together, but you got to fix your house first. And if you're not really teaching your son and your daughter how to be leaders, how to avoid certain situations, how to pull themselves out of certain situations. Look where we live. We live in Miami, right? We live in Florida. How many clubs and drinking and bars and haram stuff is around?
Honestly, I don't know.
There's a lot. I'll tell you. There's a lot.
I know.
There's a lot.
I know masjid.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, because just my job and just what I do for a living, there's a lot of haram everywhere. And I grew up here. Not once did I ever get the pressure of having to go drink or go smoke or go do, and I was always there, okay, guys, you guys will have fun. I'm gonna go back to my house, or I'm gonna go study, or I'm gonna go. And it wasn't because of maybe I was scared or nervous. It was more like, you guys are idiots. You're gonna end up getting drunk and then drinking and driving, and then you're gonna die, or something bad's gonna happen. So let me get myself out of that situation.
Actually, you remind me of the story. Mm-hmm. One of the shuyukh had 2 students. That shuyukh, they went to Egypt for knowledge. They went to Egypt. And they stayed 1 year, and they came back to their country, different country. Mm-hmm. And the sheikh asked one of the students, how you went to Egypt? How is Egypt? I said, Egypt, mashallah, everywhere you go, masjid. Mashallah. And the second one, I say, very good. And the second student, how is Egypt? Say, bars, night club, and you're right. I said, how he's right and he's right. I said, yeah, he went to the masajid, he found masajid. He went to night club, he found night club.
Yeah, you can find anything.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, anywhere you go, you can find haram and you can find halal.
Exactly.
And here's the thing is, the social media, the TVs, the news, they portray haram as this fun, exciting. And if you want to be a good man or if you want to be a leader, you're going to come here.
You know what? I live in America, 37, 1988, 1988 exactly. Until now, I have no nightclub. I don't know what nightclub is.
I'll take you after this.
Honestly, they ask about masajid. This masjid.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, when you work in the field, like in my field,
yes,
you
exactly.
you see every single thing.
But I have a question, around how to teach our kids now to be not our kids, our youth to be a leader.
Examples. Lead by example.
Not to be a leader and in charge. Of course, household, they have somebody, the kids be in charge with the house, not only mom and dad, especially mom.
No, of course.
No, but it's not everything mom.
No. Yeah,
you need our household, yes, parents have one of the kids, the adults, of course, our culture, absolutely. The adult. You know me, about adult, we are 8. But because I'm a boy in our culture, only the boy should not cook and should not do
no,
that's in God.
Culture, yeah, the culture.
Not in America.
Yeah,
you are American.
But that's culture, culturally speaking, maybe.
But my point is, how we are in America now. We are not in Palestine or here or there. How to make our kids ready to be hard, a child.
Tough, like strong.
Exactly.
And see, that's the thing you develop. That's a learned behavior, right? Confidence, intelligence. It's all learning. You're learning. Our kids are learning. They're growing up, and as they're learning, as they're absorbing everything, they're watching every move you make. Right? As a parent, as a guardian, as a mom, as a dad, And if let's say you grow up without a mom and a dad, and you're just a kid, you have to kind of now understand. Okay, I'm growing up by myself. I'm a foster kid, or I'm just living with my mom. You have to, as a child, need to understand what Islam is really all about, right? Understanding and really kind of getting the information about the stories. It's not just stories. There's a meaning behind the stories, right? There's a meaning behind all the stories we talk about.
You're right.
Right? There's a meaning behind it. And so if you're just telling a story, oh, khalas, they're gonna forget about the story and they're gonna go away. But you gotta tell them the meanings of these things. So when I teach the kids at the Saturday school, the teenagers, and I would like show them a video or something about why music is haram, and explain to them the story behind the music and how the shaitan created music, and they would watch this video. Okay, after the video was done, okay, let's talk about why. Like, let's explain.
I love that.
What was happening? What does music do to those people in the villages? What were they doing before, and what were they doing after the music happened, and the instruments came to be, and how the shaitan like really sprinkled little things here and there. Shaitan doesn't come all at one time, right? The shaitan sprinkles.
The shaitan step by step to make a crime.
And then I already did this already, but that wasn't that big of a haram. So I could do this, and then you're developing.
Allah said that. ولا تتبع خطوات الشيطان. Do not follow the steps of not the shaitan. Steps of the shaitan.
Yeah.
In fact, it's very important, brother. It's a very important topic. And our kids now really a lot of models.
About role models.
Yeah, this role models. I have no. We have actually. When I was in the first year in university in Azhar, we have the fiqh al-hadith and the fiqh al-sirah. I have the book here. Fiqh al-sirah. What is fiqh al-sirah? The fiqh of Rasulullah, the story. We know the story, but how to apply this story
to now.
Yeah. That actually, with this book, beautiful. I don't know if Sister Layla she taught this or not. But very important.
It's very important
for the seerah of Rasulullah and how to apply it in our life.
Absolutely. And people think, oh, that's just back in the days. Oh, that's old school. Or those stories apply to right now.
Yes.
And we're going through we're going through the similar stories, the similar things are happening now that happened back then. Right? We have a lot of false role models, a lot of false people acting like they're Muslims, but they're really not Muslims. We have our kids going to public schools after a certain age or after a certain grade level are going to public schools, not with the right tools, the proper tools to really understand how to navigate the public school systems, right? Because when you go to a public school and you've been in Islamic school for eight years or eighth grade, up to eighth grade, and then you go over to a public school, you're not equipped with the right tools to handle the stress and the social anxiety that these kids are going to have when they go to a public school. There's thousands of students. Compared to when they're in Islamic school, with how many students?
I have a story 3 days ago. Very important. I'm not going to mention him. One brother, actually, one of the states. I know the family very well. He have 5 daughters. The younger one, alhamdulillah, with hijab now in high school. With hijab. The 4 daughters now, number 1, there's no hijab. One of them become lesbian. And the other 3, they marry non-Muslim. And I was shocked. At the same time, I know the brother always in the masjid. But the key, I will find out, since he got married, by have problem.
Absolutely.
He destroyed his house with this kind of problem.
So you can't.
I was shocked.
Yeah, you can't destroy your house and come to a masjid and think you're going to solve your problems
exactly
by coming to a masjid.
And actually, in your community, his daughter ran away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run away.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, we think Allah said, they think we do good, but in the same time we make kufr sometimes.
Well, you don't know because we see what we see on the outside.
Exactly.
Right.
So now let's go back. The qa'id. We want our youth, our young guys, male. By the way, that's very important. When I came to America, and I was in MSA in that time, Muslim Student Organization, and MSA, and then was a man actually. I just came to America, my English, And then after that, a woman become in charge.
Mhm.
I was against that woman last year in college. You know, how woman to be in charge in MSA? I was angry. I was fighting. And honestly, after when I finished school, the best,
The best time.
one,
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
one in the MSA was that girl.
Yeah, because their culture was in your head.
Yeah, but there's hadith.
Mhm.
You cannot be a woman to a leader.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, fiqh al-hadith, bro,
Mhm.
we don't understand the hadith.
Mhm.
Now, Sister Layla, for example,
Yeah.
I'm learning sometimes from Sister Layla.
Mhm.
When I listen, is something new to mind.
Mhm.
Sometimes, as one of the students, she got PhD in Surah Maryam, tafsir.
MashaAllah.
Wallahi, brother Muhammad, I learned from the PhD,
Mhm.
from my student.
SubhanAllah.
So master's degree with me, and then I got sick. Now PhD. Wallahi, I'm learning from
Yeah.
my student. So it's not shame
No.
to be a leader.
Mhm.
Now, let's go. How to make our kids male and female leaders?
Understanding that when you're trying to make a leader, what kind of leader do you want to be?
What kind of
Right.
leader?
What kind of leader do you want to be? Because you can lead by fear. You can lead by pressure. You can
By fear.
pressure,
Pressure of whom?
of losing your job, or of losing that
Good.
friend, or of losing
Excellent point.
losing that parent's love, or losing that kind of thing. But there's also a leadership of balance.
Balance.
Support.
Actually, Allah said, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We are in the middle.
We're in the middle.
Exactly.
You have to be in the middle. So you have to be, tough, rough, feared, loved, and respected all at the same time.
But not lose.
But not lose.
That's our Islam.
There's a balance, right, that we create where, you should, like, I don't know if you remember, but back in my days, I just look at my father's face, and I could just tell if he's mad. Oh, khalas, I'm done.
My father did the same thing.
Yeah, so I would know that respect for my father. But then I would also know that the father that would take me out sometimes and let's go buy some ice cream. So there's that balance, right, of understanding that he's my dad, he's tough, but he also cares, and he also loves.
Absolutely.
And he would also tell you, like, say, listen, man, you gotta keep your back straight, stand up straight, stand up tall, keep your head up. All right, lower your gaze when there's a woman, and raise your gaze when there's a man. Explain those little things. Right, I was at a masjid a while back, and I heard this brother talking about, we got to teach our students that we live in America, and that we have to teach our youth that it's okay to shake a boy's hand. A boy can shake a woman's hand in America. We live in America, and it wasn't my place to say anything or speak up. And we have to be a little bit more loose with our deen and with our. And I got heated when he was talking like this, because I said, you don't teach our kids how to loosen up their deen in America. You teach your kids to explain why I don't shake a woman's hand. Teach the kid how to explain. It's no disrespect, but there's a reason why I don't do this, and you give the kid the tools, right? So when they go to school, when they go to a public school, when they go to college, when they go to the MSAs, or when they go to these little clubs or whatever they're doing in these colleges, they'll know, hey, how you doing? They'll know the tools. Don't teach them how to be looser because you're living in the West. No, you teach your kids how to be strong and how to explain.
Now we have a new culture in America here, hugging.
Yeah.
Hugging.
Yeah.
It's
became normal.
When you say your father, my father, by the way, I know my father angry or not.
Mm-hmm.
My father, have a nickname, Abu Khalil. Ibrahim alayhi salam is the Khalil al-Rahman, Ibrahim. So my father gave me Ibrahim because Prophet Ibrahim. Yes, then when father Abu Khalil, then we were mashallah good. But he say Ibrahim, that I'm in trouble.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And one day, actually, I was really making almost kufr when I was in high school. He shot me here in machine gun. See that?
Yeah.
And pooh!
That explains a lot.
I'm learning until now.
Yeah.
My point, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, we need our kids to understand, number one, the deen. If we understand the seerah of Rasulullah and apply it in our life, But unfortunately, all the parents doing that.
And you know what? You don't have to be a perfect parent, right? You can take your kids to a masjid and talk to the imams and talk to the sheikhs and talk to whoever's the leader of your masjid and say, listen, we're having a problem here with my child. Can we come once a week and just talk to my kid about these things, about what's going on with the Prophet, about the stories, and explain to them the reasons behind those stories. And as a father, and I didn't know, I would sit with him and let's learn together. That just doesn't develop leadership. That also develops so much of a bond between the father and when a father can admit he's wrong, right? It's hard for a man to admit they're wrong. It is. It's hard. We don't want to say, "Oh, we don't know where we're going." We don't want to say,
men.
Not all men, but the majority of us don't like to be wrong. And you have to explain to the kids, listen, man, if you don't know, just say, I don't know.
Yes, agree.
Don't say, I'll just make up some story. My biggest issue is when we have kids who lie, right? You cannot be a leader if you're lying. The best way to be a leader is to be honest with everybody. Because for me, when you talk about lying, and we could do a whole lecture about lying and the importance of staying away from lying. But one of the biggest things, and I talked to all the inmates when I was in the jails, is how are you able to continuously lie? like how does that work? Because for me, you would have to remember every single detail of that lie and who you told that specific lie to. Because I'll give you an example. I would meet the guy for the first time walking in jail. They would tell you a whole story, and they would say so believable because they said that story so many times that they knew how to say it like this, and you would believe them. And then you feel bad. You say, "Oh my God, this guy had a," and then you go 3 months later in jail, and you ask him, "Remember that day you told me this happened? What happened again?" The story would change.
Exactly. In fact, some people actually make the lie, and because they lie again and again, still lie, they believe it.
They believe it themselves. But then they, when you do this with kids, they don't remember what they said because they said to you a different story. They said to me a different story. They said to that person. So to me, I tell the kids, just be honest. It's easier to be honest than it is to lie.
Yes.
It's less stressful. It's too much stress to lie.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I have very important here question actually. There's one. بعض الآباء, some parents بعضهم يركزون فقط concentrate more إطاعة, I mean obedience to them, الانضباط to be straight, ولكن ماذا تكون, but there is no روح of the to be قائد, to be leader, to be straight, to obey mom and dad, and they become like a slave.
Yeah, well, that's why we say
not to be
not to be a leader, but you're more being.
But the problem is the parents, of course. It's good to be a bit obedient to your parents, absolutely. To be straight with everything. But what about you outside?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? We talked about balance, right? There has to be the balance with the husband and wife as well. The mom and the dad have to have that balance. You can't both be this, like strict, or this, just you have to have that love, that emotion, that balance, with when it comes to parenting these kids. It's not like when we were being raised where, we knew what to do. We didn't, we didn't go this way or that way. We were always kind of told to go this one way. But now you have to really have a balance between the husband and wife. You have to sit down with each other when the kid's not around and say, okay, look, I'm going to be the dad. I'm going to be the tough one. And you're going to be the mom, and you're going to be the sensitive one. You're going to love him. You're going to cuddle him. Or vice versa, whichever one works in the family, whichever husband is what personality is each one. But there's a big difference of disciplining your kid and making him into a leader, or just stacking on your kid and going at it with your kid and making a slave out of this kid and make him just do what he's got to do in the house. And then when he goes outside, he's not going to know how to balance his life, right? When you're pushing and pushing and pushing, they're going to do whatever they got to do just to get that pushing off of them. But when they go outside, and you see this a lot of times, with the sheikh's daughters and sheikhs, how they're so strict in the house, and then they go outside to college and they're gone.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you haven't taught that kid how to think.
Yeah. We always say parents. In America, I'm talking about a lot of sisters only to have no husband and or divorce, mostly divorce. But they teaching their kids is also strong. But also they concentrate about sisters, no father. The mothers, no father. How to teach my sister to teach my son
or her son.
regardless
Mhm.
about the age, to be a leader.
It's a tough process. It's a very hard
We
process.
have to learn.
Yeah, and we have to learn it. And it goes again back to the Islamic values, right? Islam kind of doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Islam teaches this to everybody. It's not a just for men. This is what you do. If you're a mom, this is how you treat your kid. This is how you teach your kid. This is how you talk to your child. If you're a mom, a single mom with a son, explain to your son how to be. Well, this is what a man is supposed to be like. Let me show you the Quranic verses. Let me show you the stories of the prophets. Let me show you, and then you say these are the meanings behind those stories. As a mom, if you're explaining these things to your children, if you're sitting down and talking to your kids, there is no reason why your kid can't learn how to be confident in himself. Doesn't matter if it's just a mom or just a dad. Confidence is taught, right?
Yeah.
You teach your kid how to be confident. At one point, my son was always timid and always nerd or quiet, and then he just opened up, explained to him, talk to him. You got to tell me what you want. You got to tell me what you like. You got to talk to me. You got to let me know because I can't.
Last time I saw my child how his grip is very strong.
You see that
Because it's different.
because it's if I'm not teaching him,
Mm.
and his mom's not. It's not just me. His mom does a lot of that as well.
In fact, my father is a sheikh. What I learned from my father, Quran, Hadith, fiqh. My mom, she took me to do karate and soccer. Not only that, especially with a competition, she's doing, Ibrahim, Ibrahim, do it. She's always supporting me. When I went to college, only my mom, she used to come from Gaza. May Allah give peace to Gaza, to Egypt, for the exams.
Yeah.
And after I finish exam, karate. Karate is number one.
Yeah, and
but my mom.
Yeah, but you say that, and then that's the thing, right? Even for his mom, the same thing. Well, why? Well, because I need a bodyguard. My son's gonna be my bodyguard next to me. That's the mindset. Like, I need it when I want to go shopping. He's with me, and I know he can protect me.
That's oh my God, sister, brothers, sister especially. Listen to this again. Her son, his wife's, her son, become like a bodyguard for his mom
and his sister.
And his sister, yeah.
Sister.
That yes, our kids to be a leader.
Yeah, a leader.
To be a leader. Yeah. Now, but here, brother, something important here. A lot of our kids, they have nafsi and psychological problem. They have, especially the social media. Watching this and school, psychological problem in their brain, and they don't show. He didn't feel it. And sometimes the parents, my son is the best.
Yeah.
But inside,
they don't know what's going on inside.
But that's serious.
And that's a problem. Again, it goes back to really understanding. Maybe I'm different because I watch the same stuff, right? I have all the social media apps on my phone. I listen to the things. I see what their kids are watching, and I can easily explain to the kids like that right there. What you just saw is fake. What you just saw here is a filter. Don't listen to this. Let me explain to you what that. And I do, and I try to explain to as many kids as I can that the stuff that you're watching online is the 5-minute clip, 2-minute clips, 2-minute videos, and then that person is probably sad and depressed for the rest of their lives. You don't understand that our kids right now are going through social media anxiety, social media depression. They go to schools and they become depressed when they see kids in school. Oh, why can't I have a big muscles like that guy? And why can't I have the body like that girl? They have these mindsets that they're comparing themselves to each other. And one of the things, I mean, even us growing up, my mom, our parents would always say, don't be like, Ibrahim, he's this guy, or don't be like, Khalid over there, he does this, or be better than this person, or be, they would always try to compare. And now as parents, I don't do that, but our kids do it to themselves. Where they're seeing this stuff online, they're watching this stuff online, they're seeing this stuff in the schools, and they're comparing themselves to other people.
But can I fix the mentality of my son?
Yes, it's all about really spending the time.
But how?
Spending the time with your kids, explain to them.
Value.
Like, okay, so one of the things that I've always talked to parents about is taking that phone away for a little bit and having that sit down with your kid. A lot of times we have a tendency to say, give me your phone for 2 hours. You're punished from your phone. That's how we punish our kids now, right? We take away the phone.
Yeah.
A lot of parents do this. But there's a way of getting your kid off of the phone without punishing them. Hey, come here. I need you to help me wash the car. Hey, come here. I need you to help me fold the laundry. Hey, I need you to come over here and help me wash the dishes. And while you're doing those things, hey, what's going on in school? What happened today in school today? Right? And again, we say this all the time. It's not going to happen like this. It's not going to happen
step by step.
It's a step-by-step process where you're going to start the process. And how was school today? Good. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Good. But then you say, okay, what happened in school today? How was first period? How was second period? How was third period? What happened in lunch today? What happened in the cafeteria? You start to ask a bunch of questions, and you do that on a consistent basis. Now, while they're washing those dishes or folding that laundry, you've just spent 1 hour with your kid, talking with your kid, explaining things to your child. Hey, listen, I saw when you were walking the other day when I picked you up from school, I saw that you were slouching your back a little bit. Why do you slouch your back? I need you to straighten your back up. Well, why? What's wrong with me not straightening my back? Well, because when you slouch like that, it makes you look weak, makes you look scared.
Yeah.
Are you weak? No, I'm not. Okay, then raise your back up. Right? You have that one-on-one conversation with the kid, and you'll see, like, little by little, you're planting those seeds.
Later, but not boom.
No.
You cannot be overnight.
You can't.
Yeah. الطفل الذي يشعر بالمسؤولية يختلف عن الذي يعيش. الطفل when he understand the responsibility different than the one who have no goal in his life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how to make that when we know the responsible, we know we know that. May Allah make our kids to be there. But when he live, I know, and not only that, a lot of kids go to school. Have no future. A lot actually.
A lot of kids don't know what they're doing.
How to make this kid have a goal in his life? Goal.
So it's funny because I'm glad that's a good question, because we get that a lot in the schools, right? A lot of teachers ask this question. If these kids are not motivated, these kids have no goals set for themselves. These kids don't have nowhere to go. Like they don't care about school. What do we do, right? And so when we have a parent night, the public schools will have a parent night, and we'll talk to the parents about. Let me ask you what's happening in your house, right? Whenever I have a problem with a kid, I put 2 and 2 together. I listen to the kid. I talk to the kid. Bring the parents in, and then you can see why the kid has that certain problem. If parents don't have goals, a parent is content. I work, I have a job, and I'm paying the bills, and there's nothing else to do. No, there's a lot more you can do.
Yes.
It's not just working, paying your bills. That's not a manly way. That's not a leadership quality, right? You're always supposed to try to keep going higher with your family, right? It's showing your kid, yeah, we're here now, but in 5 years, I'm going to be here. In 5 more years, I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
And the kid starts to think, okay, well, I'm 10 years old now. And as a 10-year-old, I would say, where do you see yourself in 5 years when you're 15? Well, I'm 15. I'm hoping to be in high school. Okay, perfect. What's your mind going to be thinking about when you're 15? Where are you going to be in 20 when you're 20 years old? Right? The simple questions that we ask anybody who's coming into school. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah.
And it makes that kid start to think, right? Okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to be in 5 years. I don't know what I'm going to do in 5 years. Okay, we'll start thinking about that now. And then next year you ask the same question. The kid's 11 years old. The kid's going to be 12 years old. You keep asking those questions. He's going to start to think, all right, well, I really need to set myself up for where I want to be. Because right now we're at a time where, we didn't have these opportunities when we were growing up. We had high school and that was it. You go to high school, you go to college. Now you have high school, you have technical high schools, you have high schools, colleges, so many opportunities that are free in this country that I always tell the kids at 8th grade, you need to start thinking of where you want to go.
Yes.
With yourself. Not 10th grade, not 11th grade. Back in our days, we would think, when I'm a 10th grader, I'll think about future goals. No, 8th grade.
Yes.
Where do you want to be? Because when you go to 9th grade, you can go to this school, you can go to this school, you can go to this place, and you can get the education that you want to get to be where you want to go in your future. But a lot of kids are lost. Lost.
Yeah, you're right with that. I agree with you. What is the role of the family, the الأسرة, to تدريب الأطفال, to training the kids, to charge, even start with the household, to be, for example, a lot of kids actually, sometimes kids helping the mom, the dad.
Mhm.
But I believe if you are living that house, you have to do everything also.
Of course, you got. It's not just helping; it's doing.
But how to encourage our kids, especially boys?
You know, it's again. We always talk about kids as if they're all the same. All the kids are not the same.
Mean regardless, boy or a girl,
Yeah,
male or female, that are in the household together. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good.
But it's always different, right? Because if you have let's say you have a family with a boy and a girl,
Mhm.
right? A daughter and a son, and you'll treat your daughter a certain way, you'll treat your son a certain way, because that's how we are. We
Yeah,
a girl like this,
exactly,
and a boy like this.
I do this. Actually, I do the same.
Yeah,
I did now.
we always do that, and so then you have to start to explain to the kid why you're treating your daughter like this, and then your daughter will say, "Oh, but when you see your son doing this, you don't yell at him, and why don't you?" Well, that's because he's a guy. Let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why, as a man, because he's going to be a man soon. Why I'm teaching them like this. As a girl, this is why I'm teaching you to be like this. There's different ways of teaching each kid. You, as a parent, have to really know your kid. If you're a parent and you have a 6-year-old kid and you don't know how to deal with him, that's a problem.
Yes,
that's a big problem. At 6 years old, this kid came from you. You should know how to really
do this. Yeah.
And whatever. And if it's not working, that means you have to change it up, because whatever you're doing is not working, and that means you're doing something wrong as a parent. And that's why sometimes we get those phone calls, right? We get those calls, "Hey, my kid is giving me a hard time. What do I do? How do I fix this?" And then you go into the house, we go into the house, and we see the dynamic. Right? We see how the mom and the dad talk to each other. We see how the kids talk to the parents. And then we start to analyze in our heads what's going on.
Yeah.
And then because we're the third person, right? We're the outsider looking in. And then we can tell the parent, "You're doing all this wrong." And I had it one time where I told the parents, "Let's try something else. Let's try this." And I had a whole goal set up, and the daughter or the son came up and said, "Well, we tried this before." I said, "Yes, you've tried that before without a person on the outside helping you guys."
But not everybody has the Muhammad Ziedeh.
Well, no, you don't need me. But you have to be able to also open up your doors
with some other
soul and help.
Yeah.
Ask for help.
Actually, in the police department, the way any police department can help you with that free. Also,
there's a lot of free services, not just the police departments. There's a lot of nonprofit agencies, a lot of nonprofits, a lot of agencies that are out there that have those types of LCSWs, licensed clinical social workers.
Because I actually also very important for Muhammad, because some people actually ask, we mentioned this before. I asked, no, we need a Muslim.
Yeah, and you know what?
It's not condition.
It's not a condition, but I will say because a lot of times when you have the non-Muslims coming into your house, they don't understand the dynamic of what Islam is all about.
Exactly.
So that's why we also we have here the South Florida mental health thing that you go on the website and you can find yourself a Muslim social worker to come to your house and help you. There is a big difference between coming into a house that's a Muslim. Like, I'll give you an example at a house that I had to go into when I was working in probation. Walk into this house, it was a black family with I think she had 3 or 5 kids, and the social worker that came in was a white guy from one of the nonprofit agencies, and then I came as a probation. And I saw the kid said something to the mother, and the mom threw the flip flop at the kid, the sandal at the kid as he was running up the stairs. And the social worker, "Oh my gosh, we have to report this as child abuse and this and this." And I said, no, hold on, man. Don't report this as child abuse. This is just a different culture.
Culture.
If you think this is child abuse, come to my house. When I was a baby, when I was growing up. We had shoes, belts, whips, rubber tubes, sticks.
Look at the glove.
So I had to explain to the guy, the social worker, that this is a cultural difference between you and this family. You cannot just call the child services and get this kid taken away from this mother. That's the way they discipline each other. That's the way and she showed love by doing this.
We are 8. I'm the only one got beaten by my mom and dad. The only one. But I'm the troublemaker.
They loved you the most. That's what I try to tell myself, at least.
Yeah, but hold on. A lot of kids actually become like a perfect, become arrogant.
Yeah. Well,
that's important.
Well, there's a big difference between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah, exactly. We confident, but how when you become arrogant, and you can see that person become arrogant. how to fix this.
You have to show. You have to really start to teach humbleness as well, right? And as Muslims,
and same time to be humble.
As Muslims, we know what the definition of humbleness is. We know we give charity. We know that Allah gave us something, He could take it away from us in a heartbeat.
I think my wife should be the best one instead medical doctor. I mean, nutrition to be a psychologist. She's excellent with that. Tell me, a lot of challenges. Our community here, actually not here, even in the Middle East, there's a lot of challenges for facing the kids.
A lot of challenges.
Number one, the household. Number two, school, social media. This kind of challenges, and not only that, if the person that a lot of kids go to fall down with this kind of problem. A lot of kids actually leaving the Islam of the boys become girls and girls become boys. Why? Because there is no leadership inside the house.
You know, we talk about that with just Muslims. I'm talking about from a world view as well, because I go into the other place, not just Muslim masjids. I go to non-Muslim places a lot, and we're not the only ones having this problem, right? With our kids. And one of the questions I ask in the lectures to the parents is, how many people here, as parents and with kids, go and at home or are at home and they're on their cell phones? They're all sitting on the couch.
They've heard that almost.
And you see them sitting on their couch, and the mom is like this, the dad's like this, the kid is like this, playing video games.
Yes.
You know, like how many? And a lot of them raise their hands, and they raise their hands and they're ashamed at the same time. That you see their face being ashamed to raise their hands, because I tell them, be honest with yourself. How many people after dinners and everything's done, that you guys go all sit on the couch at 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, and you're just scrolling on your phones, all 4 or 5, 6 of you guys.
Oh my God.
And they put their hands up. And I said, well, that right there, if you have enough time to relax, because that's what they do, they want to relax.
And sit on the phone. Relaxing.
I said, what you're doing is you're not relaxing. You're allowing now somebody else to show your kid how they're supposed to behave, how they're supposed to act, what a leadership is, you're letting your kid just have the world teach your kid the values that you're supposed to be teaching your kid in that time frame. And this is not just Muslims. I'm telling you, this is, you go to the churches, you go to the synagogues, you go to the temples, you go anywhere.
Well, us, I know.
It's not just us. They're all having the same problem, where they're just like, well, I'm tired. I worked so many hours, and I came home and I cooked dinner and I did this and I did that. And I tell the parents, I'm pretty sure you have laundry to do. I'm pretty sure your house needs to be cleaned up. I'm pretty sure you can spend a little bit of time to teach your kid how to vacuum a carpet. Pretty sure you can teach your kid, you have enough time to make a mop bucket with this little bit of soap and show them how much soap to put, how much water to add, make sure it's hot water. You have enough time to, if you're scrolling, to teach your kids how to do these other things.
That's leadership.
That's leadership.
But the leadership here is the mom. It's kind of mom and dad.
Well, if you and listen, the same thing goes to the dad. If you have enough time to scroll on your phone as a father, then you have enough time to say to your kid, let me show you how to go change an oil. Let me show you how to check the pressure of a tire. Let me show you how to do dishes.
I have to learn that too.
Yeah, do some dishes. Learn how to do dishes.
I know. Trust me,
hot water. I was told always hot water.
I always do that for her.
Yes.
Always.
Always. You have to use hot water. I don't like hot water.
Before actually she went upstairs, she told her son, I need hot water upstairs. And if not, me.
Yeah, see? There you go.
I mean, also, you just mentioned something important, and this for everyone here. There's a lot of centers, you can contact those centers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can help you about your child, how to for leadership.
And let me tell you, there's I don't know if you live in America or if you live in any of the cities or the states in America. I think all the counties have a number called 211.
Yes.
All right, 211. You call and you ask for some. I need a resource number. It's a resource phone number, and they'll give you whatever resources that are available in your city, in your county, in your state to help you with whatever issue that you got going on.
What kind of phone?
It's 211.
211.
Yep, just like 911.
In America, 211.
That's it. 211.
But in the floor, alhamdulillah, sorry. I mean, in Florida, in anywhere other states.
Yeah, it goes in any county. It'll direct you to any county.
Write it down here, parents.
Yeah.
211.
Very important number to remember. It's just the same thing as 911, but 211 will give you a county number.
Okay.
For your county, for your city, for whatever, and you can ask them, hey, I need help with my kid's, needs discipline, or my kid is refusing to go to school. How can you help me? Give me an agency, a phone number, or somebody who can help me get my kid to go to school.
That's why that you told me that I want to tell the parents, whoever come to me,
211. 211 is a perfect number for everybody who needs a resource in any. I worked in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was the same thing, 211. The same thing when I was here, when I learned it, when I came back here, 211. You call those numbers up, they have resources for anything. It's a one-stop shop for all the resources in that county or in that city that you live in. And you can see what agencies are out there. Hey, look, I'm low income. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have any insurance. I need help. Who can help me? And then that person will say, okay, call, Henderson Behavioral Health Clinic, and this is the phone number.
Wow. Wallahi, that's extra. Brother and sister, take advantage. 211. If I have any problem in the household.
And at the same time, I don't know how the other countries do it, but you can just Google anything these days.
Yeah.
Right. And you can ask ChatGPT, hey, I need help with this problem. Is there any? I'm serious because now that's what everybody uses. All the kids are using. Parents are using.
Yeah, you're right with that. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any example? Some people actually in the church, synagogue, in the masjid, in the street. They have kind of problem and they follow this and his household become good.
So I was dealing.
Example.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example of this.
Because the time is running.
Yeah. I was working with this mother for a long time. She was in jail. She was coming out, and I was working with her for about non-Muslim. And that's the thing. I don't really talk about Islam. They just know me as I'm a Muslim because of my name.
Yes.
They see Mohammed. Oh, he's a Muslim. And I explained to her, listen, you're a mom. You have 3 kids that you lost. You lost 3 kids because you went to jail, and now you want to get your kids back. So this is how. And I would explain to her, first you got to fix yourself before you can help your kids. And 6 months of 7 months of me and her working together, talking about the issues, talking about the stuff. She's asking questions that she should have asked her parents growing up.
Oh.
But she didn't have that luxury of having parents. She didn't have that luxury of having a father or having that luxury of having a mother to explain to her these things that I'm explaining to her. You're talking about I think she was 33 or 34 at the time. And all I told her was the simple things that I told my own daughter. Right? I explained to her, the same things I'm telling you is the same things I won't tell my own daughter. This is the same thing that I tell my own kid. And I said, just follow through with what I'm telling you to do. Turn off the TV. Turn off the radio for a little bit.
Oh.
Focus on your own self, right? Focus on yourself. Focus on self-talk. Talk to yourself, right? Explain to yourself what's going on in your head. Talk about what's happening. And then come back to me after a week of doing this. Let me see where you're going, what you're doing.
Wow.
And she would come back a week later. Oh my, Muhammad, I'm going crazy. I'm just keep thinking. Okay, perfect. Now you're thinking. Let's talk about what you're thinking about. And then she would explain to the stuff that she was thinking about. I can't believe my mom did this to me. I can't believe my dad did this to me. I can't believe I didn't have this. Why didn't anybody tell me this? All the years I was going to jail, all the times I was messing up. Within a year and a half, she was good. She got out. 6 months later, she went to court, got her kids back.
Oh.
And till I think now, last time I heard from this person was about a year ago, about 8 months ago. Doing great, has a full-time job. Her kids are growing up. There's a family now. And she said to me the same thing. The same thing you talk to me, Mohammed, is the same thing I talk to my daughters and my sons about. The same way you talk to me, I talk to my kids.
I need everybody to learn this.
It's a matter of wanting to change.
Also, about a lot of kids actually in the school, elementary, high school, even university, have a crown around them. Bad influence.
Yeah.
This bad influence. At the same time, some people, some parents, they know they're bad.
And you say this, and it's funny you said this because even at the masjids, when I'm at the masjids, and I we do our business in the masjid, and We sell the baklawa, we sell kunapa and all this
Yeah.
stuff. The kids will come up to me, the college kids will tell me, "Oh, I don't talk to him anymore." Oh, I said, because I'll ask him, "Where's your friend? You know, such and such." "Oh, I don't talk to him anymore. He started saying some stuff that's not, you know, really halal, and he would do these, you know, say these bad things, or he would do certain things." And I was like, why would you stop talking to him? Why don't you explain to him what he's doing wrong so he can fix himself? Brother, my mom and dad told me once they see somebody doing haram, just get away from them. I said, well, no.
Yeah, a lot of parents, yeah.
A lot of parents teach them that. I said, well, I understand that. I get it. As a parent, you're scared for your kid. But I know if I taught my kids how to be strong, how to be a leader, hey, if you see somebody doing haram, what's the first thing you're supposed to do? As a Muslim,
Stop.
Hey, listen, you're doing haram. I don't want to, you know, I'm gonna
Stop.
You talk to them.
Yeah.
Right. You engage that person. You say, this is haram. Don't do this anymore. Let's not. I don't want to be around you if you're going to do this stuff anymore. And maybe that kid might stop. Maybe that one talk from a good, strong leader at his own age, his peer, talking to him, you might have helped him stop doing the haram. But you see a lot of times that these Muslim kids, the parents teach them khalas. You see one of your friends doing haram, get away. Ignore them, leave them alone. But then that kid falls down even farther. The other kid falls down even farther.
Okay.
Where you could have helped that kid out.
So we can fix our kids regarding,
of course,
away,
yeah,
but not immediately. Right?
Not immediately. If this is something new to you, let's say this is something new that you've never done before.
Yeah.
You can't expect your kid to just listen to you the first time.
Exactly.
Our kids need to see it, lead by example.
You see that, but normally the kids see that corruption, but they are not doing that. But at the same time, they love that person.
Well, you can't expect your kid to learn from you, from what you're saying, from just what you're saying.
You need an action.
You have to lead by example.
Example.
Right? You can't say to your kid, do A, B, and C, and then you're doing D, C, E, F.
That I love this.
You cannot do that.
That's the key.
You're confusing the kids even more.
That is the key. Yeah, that's the key. No, I mean, before we finish, 5 minutes, actually,
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had a question, brother and sister, but the key here, the final advice, how really to give an advice for the parents now, regardless the age, male and female, for your son, your daughter to be a leader in a household, leader outside.
Well, as a parent, first thing that you have to ask yourself as a parent is, am I a leader?
But you have to, we define leader, define this
the Islamic definition of a leader, right?
Okay.
You have to maybe I'm a supervisor at a store, or maybe I run a business, but yeah, that's great. You're a leadership in that business, but your house is different.
Absolutely.
Right? You can't tell your son and talk to your kids as if they're just workers in your business. No, they're your family, they're your kids.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're not a leader of your own house, you have to fix that first. Right? And
fix yourself.
You have to
in order to fix my son and my daughter.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't fix yourself and you're just telling your kids to be leaders, and you trust,
but they are
do
watching
this and do this and do this, they're going to see what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to live it. So we talk about this a lot, where we talk about self-reflect. Self-reflect. Understand where you're coming from, what you're doing. What am I doing wrong as a parent? Right? Because I've been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years. It's not working. So I think I need to check myself before I can check my kids.
Yes.
And once you understand the intricacies of what Islamic leadership is all about, and the stories behind all the hadiths and behind all those stories in the Quran, and once you start to understand all that, you can now explain to your kids. And even if you're still learning, explain to your kids, hey, let's learn together. I'm going to the masjid, there's the imam, he's teaching the seerahs, and he's teaching all this, and he's teaching all that. I want to learn. I want you to come with me so we can learn together.
Yeah.
And you start to teach your kid little by little, piece by piece. And you'll start to see that kid within like 6 months to a year. 6 months to a year.
You'll see different.
You'll see a difference.
I see a difference.
A big difference.
Inshallah. You can join. I know time you're going fast, for the questions, sir, for that.
Good topic.
It's very important. Inshallah, we're going to continue, inshallah. Brother Mohammed, inshallah. We're going to continue with this, inshallah. We're going to advance also to prepare yourself. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide us and guide our kids. Ya Rab, and save us from corruption,
Inshallah.
especially the internet corruption.
Very
And we cannot stop here, brother and sister. For God's sake, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.